Alright, it's paper doll time. I got bottom two bent up kind of like the style that I want. It's tacked into place. And then I just took some construction paper and roughly whittled it to the back side of the frame and taped it on there. And then I took a Sharpie and tried to keep my Sharpie as straight as possible and trace the outline. So I figured that'd be my left and right side. And I think I may just try punching them out of metal first. And I think in the front here, I'm going to try to make like some kind of gusset that takes this area, but I may have the gas tank kind of come down before that to right about here. You know what I mean? Kind of like I'm even debating to have it maybe round off. I don't know until I cut the metal. So I'm going to contemplate that a little bit, but I think I'm going to start out by making two pieces of that, and then I may just design the width of it by taking a piece of like round bar in between. So say here's the two pieces, and then I'll put like a piece of round bar, a piece of round bar, and a piece of round bar, and I'll make it probably taper, get fatter, and then maybe roll the ends, and then after I have that, I'll make the top and bottom from it. That's what I'm thinking right now. So I just want to do a little show and tell before I pull this off, and you can kind of tell I decided not to hold the marker straight. There. Need that upper line, that lower one started dropping below the steel there. Can you tell I'm having fun with the pipe bender? Not a single thing's got a straight line anymore. Everything's kind of curvy. But that's how you learn, I guess. You just screw around with it, and you know, I've learned that way anyway. It's my best learning tool is just to jump in, you know. Works it works, doesn't it doesn't. So I'm gonna go take that piece of cardboard off there. I'm gonna go cut that out with a pair of scissors, and I think I have some big enough steel to start slicing some of that out. And I got some 16 gauge here. It's fairly stout, and it might be a little heavy for a gas tank, but it makes it a lot easier to weld. A little thicker material. I think it's 16. Anyway, I got two paper dolls traced out, and I think what I'm going to do is just kind of cut with a plasma cutter, you know, around it, and get them free, and then I'm going to cut them on the bandsaw, and to get more accurate. And I think at that point I'll take like two pair of vice grips, clamp them together, and then sand them at the same time so they have the same profile, and then we'll figure the rest out from there. It's like a big tie, don't it? Tie on an angle. So I cut them out in a bandsaw, and then I proceeded to take it to the belt sander, and just kind of made them so they match pretty good. So let's go release them. And we're looking pretty snazzy. It's going to have like a 1/8 inch air gap all the way around it, which is nice. A little 3/16 I should say. So nice little spacing. Kind of rethinking the front here. I think I'm going to add something on the outer side because I like the look of the tank going all the way to the front. I think if I cut it short, it's going to look funny, and it will take away from the stretchiness that I'm trying to make the bike look like. So I think what I'm going to do now is just roll the tips of this. I'm going to roll the tip of that in, and kind of slightly roll the back tip of them in, and try to get an idea what I want, you know, kind of looking down on it. I want it to probably kick out about that far on each side, and then roll back in the front, and then I'll make some spacers in between. We'll tack that together. See if we can get it squared up as much as possible, then we can lay some cardboard over the top of that, and we'll start making some pieces. Probably be one. Might be able to do the front in one, and then, you know, one on the bottom. So that is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go try to figure out how the best way I want to kind of roll that, and go from there. So I decided to dig out that that's like a 3-in-1 Harbor Freight. It's a shear, brake, and a roller, but it's only for really light stuff. I think it's rated for 20 gauge. I don't think it's even 18. But just doing a light bend on a piece that's only, you know, 4 inches wide didn't seem to have a problem. I gave him like a gradual bend over the whole thing, and then on the very end, I probably gave like this much of it more of a crank, just so it kind of tapers in faster. So I'm thinking something like that, little submarine kind of look to it. So I think I'm gonna go and tack this corner right together, just so these are kissing each other. And then I don't know, either I'll stick it up on a bike and look at it, make sure, and then I'm gonna make a couple of spacers. I'm just going to tack on the inside of it. They could just stay there. They're not going to hurt anything. And then I'll take some paper. I'm going to just rub on top of it and try to get a tracing of a couple of pieces to make the top and the bottom. At least that's my plan right now. So we'll see how this works out. I just want to make sure that after I tack that together, that I have enough width up here to get a filler neck off of one side, which should be okay, but you never know. And something like that. Just got a bunch of shims in there to kind of give it an eyeball. Kind of like the way the taper goes in the front, and then back to nothing in the back. Got my stool over here. There's my stool. Jump up in the air. Not centered or anything, but you get the idea. So that should be enough for me. It looks like there's about 1.5 inches on each side. I wouldn't want to go any skinnier than that. Then it might be a little difficult to get the gas neck in there. But I could also kick it out on an angle. You know what I mean? Have the tube come up on an angle like that, and it'll kind of clear that tube. Now you're got that much of a gap to work with. So I'm gonna go take that back out of there. We're gonna start making some shims for the middle, tack them in, and then kind of form it so that it's consistent from front to rear, you know what I mean? So it's not doing what it's kind of like doing that right now. And get zeroed in on something. And once I get that, we'll try making the top and the bottom. Gas tank's my favorite part. Kind of makes the whole thing, you know? So, I like the airspace that's around it. When you look through it, you see that slight gap, you know, and then when it follows the frame, it just makes it. Kind of wondering if I should take the front of the tie here and just maybe just roll the top in or something, or just roll the bottom in. Might try hand forging that, hand bending that a little bit. I might kick this bottom end in. Not sure. I probably should just put a crease down the center. I don't know if I want to do that either. And, you know, I'm talking about fold it like that. Well, I'm gonna go get the two pieces made widthwise, and then we'll worry about the front when we get there. Don't be hating, but the neighbor dropped off some snacks. They are so good. I'm not even telling you what's in them, but just, let's put it this way, there was more on that plate. And by the end of the night, it might only be about 2 left going in the house. So I got the centers all kind of bridged together with nails for support, and then I got the top traced out, then traced onto metal, and then cut out on the bandsaw. And we're pretty close to tacking that guy up. I left it a little proud for the fudge factor, for a place to weld. I may go back and grind a little bit, but we'll see. You probably got about right there. It feels like you got about a maybe a 1/16. The nose probably has the most right there. I'm probably a little far forward where I made my bend, but good enough to get it tacked, and I can run down the side with a grinder and make it flush, don't you know? So that's what I'm gonna go do now. Probably gonna go put some tape on that and hold together with some tape and get it really close, and then run around and probably should tack it from the. I probably could tack it from the inside because it is the top, and grind it smooth, and then have a nice even area to do the weld on. It's like a skateboard. All right, so let me go figure that out and keep moving forward. And I only used that much metal. About a foot by 3 feet, we're gonna call it. And here we go. How awesome is that? I love it. I think it looks great. Just got a couple pieces of tape holding it in place right now. So tomorrow I get to screw it all up by welding it. I have a TIG welder and I haven't had much practice on it. So I think tomorrow I'm going to take my time and try it with that. Probably start with a couple of scraps, get it going. The TIG welder is a slower weld, but it's more precision. Generally you put less heat into it too. You know, like a casket of sorts, isn't it? I like it a lot. Makes, you know, starts making it look more like a motorcycle-y kind of thing instead of a bicycle when you do that. All we gotta do left is everything. Intake, carb, exhaust, front suspension, handlebars, fenders, lights, and accoutrements. It's getting there. I like that layout a lot. I'm gonna have to come off at the very front corner for my tap, but that's okay. We'll come out with a fuel tap down here, and I'll let it, probably copper or something. We'll just kind of let it chase the frame down to the carb. The fit up is pretty good for a hack. And I'm liking the front. I think I'm going to do something. I may come with like gussets that kind of like come out from each side to about right here, and do the same on both sides, but then I'm going to drill a bunch of holes in it so you can still see the tank underneath it, and it'll help support this part of the frame, but you'll still see the tank underneath it. So 2 different colors, you know. So that's my idea right now. We'll see where that goes. All right, guys. Again, thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing, and take care.